What is going on? It is the Obscurist Tourist, and, well, today I come to you from Oak Island, or Zwicker's Cove, right across from Oak Island. You can see there's a few islands right behind me out in the Atlantic Ocean here. And just to the right of that, I will head on over there tomorrow and see if the weather clears up. The weather is quite terrible today. It's been rainy and just very cold and windy the entire time I've been here. So hopefully we can get on over there. It's a private island, so not really sure how much I'm going to be able to see. And I can almost guarantee that I will not be getting any treasure, but I will try to show you as much as I can. I will also try to show you, I am here at the Oak Island Resort and Convention Center, so I'll try to show you around a bit of this hotel right here on the shore in Zwicker's Cove. But for now, let's check out the grounds here at the Oak Island Resort, and then head on over to Oak Island itself. Oak Island has been a subject for treasure hunters ever since the late 1700s, with rumors that Captain Kidd's treasure was buried here. While there is little evidence to support what went on during the early excavations, stories began to be published and documented as early as 1856. Since that time, many theories extend beyond that of Captain Kidd, which include stories of religious artifacts, manuscripts, and even Marie Antoinette's jewels. Areas of interest on the island with regard to treasure hunters include a location known as the Money Pit, which is allegedly the original searcher's spot. Located on the east side of Oak Island, the Money Pit was a shaft more than 100 feet deep. According to island lore, it first drew the attention of a local teenager in 1795 who noticed an indentation in the ground and, with some friends, started to dig, only to find a man-made shaft featuring wooden platforms every 10 feet down to the 90-foot level of depth. There have been some recent archaeological discoveries in the Smith's Cove area on the island here, and have included an allegedly pre-15th century lead cross and various wooden earthworks. In January 2014, the History Channel began airing a reality TV show called The Curse of Oak Island about a group of modern treasure hunters. The series has documented finds such as centuries-old coins, an antique brooch, and a lead cross that was allegedly made between 1200 and 1600 AD. To this day, however, no real treasure has ever been found. Can't go bombing in to the Oak Island Resort and Conference Center. You gotta slow it down, 10 kilometers an hour. You just don't know what is around the corner. And just down that road is none other than Oak Island, and an aptly named street here. Look at this. Treasure Drive. You never know what you're gonna find on this roadway. Giving you a very brief tour of the Oak Island Resort right now, because in my summation, the best parts aren't actually worth noting right now just because of the time of year. Quite rainy and cold outside. I will say, however, they do give you a lot of rope around here. Get it? And right here at the entrance is what I'm here for. It's a map of Oak Island itself. I wasn't confident I'd be able to get out there this time of year, but it seems there's a causeway that actually connects the island to the mainland, so we kind of lucked out. Oh, we're just going to take a little peek-see down here at the shore. Again, not the best weather. It was just clear, and now it is spitting rain out here, so not ideal conditions. But we'll check out the shore of Zwickers Cove anyway. Burning permitted. This is the little marina here in Zwickers Cove. Not a soul in sight. And you can see just over there on the right, that I'm going to walk to the point. That is Oak Island. We will check it out from the vantage point here at the Oak Island Resort. Talked to a few people here, and they actually thought this was Oak Island. Had to explain to them that this is not Oak Island. This is the resort. Still unsure of the affiliation between Oak Island, aside from the proximity of this place to Oak Island. There were rumors that they were running tours out of here. None of the staff said that that was the case, so perhaps someone is telling me tall tales. Regardless, no tours. It is off-season, very off-season. I don't think tours on the island even start up again until around June. So we are a full month away from that. And just look at the wilderness out here. This is prime moose country. I've seen a lot of animals. Have not seen a moose yet, but hopefully that changes. Always blows me away whenever I'm so used to Toronto seagulls and Lake Ontario seagulls being so small. The seagulls of the actual sea, of the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, are just monstrous beasts. Much, much larger, almost double the size of what I see in Toronto. See the little inlet here of Zwickers Cove. Some dangers of the ocean, weather permitting, wind permitting, depending on the wave size here. Enter at your own risk and walk down this little, what would you call this? A dike? Can't remember the name of these, but protecting the little cove here. So a little walk away down by the shore here at Oak Island Resort are these little cottages right on the seashore. And you can't see it from the actual main building, but that right there, right in front of me, that is Oak Island. The treasure island itself of Captain Kidd, supposed treasure island. And right there is, I thought this would have been only accessible by boat, but there's actually a little causeway that you can drive, a little one-lane causeway through this bay, and you can enter with your car right onto Oak Island. We'll have to check that out a little bit later. I'm going to retreat inside because it is absolutely freezing and raining. I would love to come here in the summer because I bet this place is absolutely ridiculously beautiful. Right now, it still feels like when I left Toronto, it was about 25 degrees Celsius, and it is pushing about 5 degrees Celsius here. So a whole other world, a whole other season almost. Yeah, would just love to be here in the summer. I'm sure it would be. There's nobody here. I saw a few workers, so I can imagine that this place is just absolutely packed to the gills in the summertime when it's a lot nicer. You can see a little bit of a lake here, a little pond. This is a little inlet of sorts from the Atlantic Ocean, from Zwicker's Cove. Perhaps an extension of Zwicker's Cove. And right back there you can see just deep forest. Only see that, you know, in northern Ontario usually. This is my first time in these parts of Canada. So it's pretty exciting actually. The marina, I assume off season, hasn't been open for a few days, so I'm just going to assume that it isn't open until June 1st or the weather improves. One of the things I always love about the Maritimes or any seaside towns are the referential play on words. This, see you next time. And I know we are getting close. Just on the right up here is Oak Island. Not the greatest day to explore, but this is also not the greatest time of year in Nova Scotia, right here on the Atlantic Ocean. So just right across that causeway on the right, almost center frame, is the road that leads to the infamous Oak Island. Stuff of legend. You can see a few workers over there. It is complete private property, so you have to be very cognizant of that, and they do enforce it very strictly. So listen, sometimes my motto is to ask for forgiveness rather than for permission. Just say sorry and move on with your day. I leave things as they are, so if I do manage to stray into private property, I am doing it in the most respectful way ever. They do tours here, but unfortunately those tours are not open right now, and they are currently filming the new season of The Curse of Oak Island, so completely unable to go around. There are a bunch of private residences here, so we will just be respectful of that. And there's something really, really cool on the public side of the causeway by this house here is, look at this, it's an old cannon. And right over there, just right behind it, are another 3 cannons. And I'll have to do a little bit more research here, but these look to be original. Don't know if they were found on a shipwreck in the area or if they were found on the actual island, so I'll have to look into that. Very cool though. Well, I've made it onto the island. You can see there's the causeway just behind this Oak Island memorial marker here, and this marker ties directly into the legend of Oak Island, the treasure. These are the names of the people who have died here on Oak Island looking for Captain Kidd's supposed treasure that is buried here. 1795, and the last people died, 4 of them, in 1965. First one was an unknown in 1861, and the last 4, Robert Russell Sr. and Jr., Cyril Hiltz, and Carl Gracer, all died in the pursuit of buried treasure, never to be found. You can see this is the causeway right here. Very cool. One way in and one way out by road. And here are some signs just letting you know, I shouldn't be on this island at all, but this is definitely letting you know that you can't pass here. There are residences on here, so just a heads up, don't pass this point. And right on the left is where the actual filming is, and that road goes all the way around. This is the Oak Island Interpretive Center, And there's some construction being done on that right now. So there are people around. And I could kind of see this from the causeway as I was driving in. It's very hidden right behind this little cluster of trees and bushes here. But this is, let's see if we can find it. And there it is. You can see the sign. That is the remains of the Oak Island Canteen. No idea when it was last in use, but it is long been abandoned. So abandoned. Look at, you can see the deck here, completely rotten, and you know, trees just sitting right in front of it, so you can't even access this thing. You would have probably ordered your drinks from right there. No longer in use. Very cool though. And you can see just how thick the foliage here is. Let's look on the ground here. The moss. It's like walking on carpet here. Very, very cool. And that's some deer droppings right there. At least I hope that's some deer droppings. I'm gonna try to get out of here real quick because I feel like I'm pushing my luck, traversing a little further into this place. I want to give you a better look at the island, sort of the just the lay of the land here and what it looks like here on Oak Island. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that little stream that goes right beyond this property. Very, very cool. Not developed, but definitely some things have been going on here. A lot of overturned trees and yeah, very difficult to imagine. Pretty awesome though. So back that way, through these trees, probably half a kilometer away, is the actual money pit, and that is where they do a lot of the filming for The Curse of Oak Island. I assume there's going to be heavy security over there, so I'm not even going to attempt to see what's going on there. I'm already a little bit further in than I planned to, but here I am. This is, if I'm here, I'm here. Why not explore a little bit? Something that is absolutely cool. I've seen more than a few deer running through the forest here. They either hear my voice, catch my scent, or just hear me walking and breaking twigs, but they're around here. It's kind of amazing, actually. This goes to show just how little amount of people are actually here. Again, there's a private residence right here on the left. So I'm just gonna walk down the shore a little bit just to see what I can see. Don't want to walk on the property line and get yelled at. It happens. I was told, a friend of mine knows some of the people that live on the island here, and they told me that the owner of this house on the left is recently deceased. So I'm not really sure if anyone was even there, but I'm just going to avoid that altogether. Just walk around the edge of the water here. Very cool. And the forest over there. Not a whole lot that I can see. There is an old stone well over here from the 1800s, late 1700s. Not exactly sure where it is, but I assume that it's up over this ridge here. Again, getting right close to the edge. You can see the other end of the island right there. Just a little bit to the left is where the money pit is. So again, somebody passed me by and they didn't say anything to me about leaving, which leads me to believe that either they don't know who I am or they think that I should be here. When that happens, again, one of my biggest philosophies in life is to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. I used to ask for permission, and 9 times out of 10, people will say no. But when you've already done what you needed to do and you haven't caused any harm, people are surprisingly okay. So that is my little life lesson for the day. As long as you aren't being annoying, you're okay. I don't know what this is. It's some sort of well of some sort. I'm not really sure where the stone well is. I'll look on the map and see if I'm close, but I was trying to cut through. I got away from the shoreline. Started to get really rocky and a little bit precarious, but it seems that my shortcut here is also precarious swampland. You can see it goes pretty far into the forest there. I just saw another deer just run that way. I gotta get out of here soon, but I am also very close to the old historical stone marker, so it's just down there if I can only find a way. So I'll leave a little information about Oak Island down in the description of this video, but as far as I can tell, the first people to inhabit this island were the Micmac in around 1752, and the first sign of people starting to dig for the treasure of Captain Kidd was around 1852. So 100 years later, that is when the legend really started to take root. A few things were found here, but the amount of time and energy and money and people that have spent their lives looking for this supposed treasure, not much has been found, which is usually tells me there's probably nothing there, especially considering that the amount of modern technology that they've used to search this island, and especially the money pit and around the money pit. So deduce from that what you will. Okay, this is absolutely creepy. Look at this. The remains of this old pine tree, I assume. Looks like an offering to the gods, the forest gods here on Oak Island. Again, a little further in than I hoped, but I'm also close to the stone well, so fingers crossed. So there's more water inland. You can see the ocean right here, kind of Mahone Bay, and then on this side a little bit of a pond, and I believe
I saw it just over there. I think that is the stone well, but I am not sure if I can make it there, because this is, if it's not that pond, there's a lot of sort of swampy area around here, so we'll see. Hopefully I can make it. So one of my biggest fears, and I am totally unsure, but I get very paranoid about this, is hunting season. Whenever I'm walking in a forest or whatever, I'm also not dressed the smartest. I'm wearing a green parka, which, yeah, just not a good idea. I don't think it's hunting season right now. That isn't later until later this year, so fingers crossed. We are coming up to something. It's a stone something, definitely man-made. Doesn't look like a well of any sort, but this is apparently, oh, this could be it here. Might be the remnants of a well. It's something man-made and something very old. There's nothing around here, so I'm absolutely freezing and wet because I keep stepping into these really swampy, wet sinkholes around here. But I'm probably gonna go back. It's time to go back. Pushing my luck already, so let's do that. Again, look at this forest, just amazing. Actually a stone wall rather than a stone well. Have I been reading that wrong? Very interesting nonetheless. And I expressed my concerns earlier, and this is just confirms my fear. Look at this shotgun shell. Honestly, this is the exact thing that I fear. Hunting does happen here. There's a shotgun shell to prove it. And oh, just notice this. How cool is this thing? I just saw it on the ground. It's like, oh, that is so cool. That has got to be from the 1700s, late 1700s, early 1800s. This thing is ancient. Looks like an old, I don't know, metal nail or something. This could even be from Captain Kidd's ship. How freaking awesome is that? That is so cool. Who knows how long that thing's been sitting here? No one has ever moved it, just laying beside this old tree. Oh, that's worth the trip alone. Very cool. So people often ask me about things that I find on my explores, and I find a lot of old things, a lot of very cool things. And the second question is, once they find out that I do find stuff, is why don't I take it with me? Well, aside from the obvious of just being respectful and leaving things as they are, as I found them, the second one is more of a sort of supernatural quirk to it, is I don't want to take things that could bring me bad energies, or maybe the things themselves have bad energies, and I'm just bringing that into my life. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but honestly, I would rather just not find out that it is something. I don't want to test it out. I don't want to test out my little theory about things. Just leave them as they lie. I've seen a few cool things here. They will remain here, and if somebody else wants to pick them up, that's fine with me. I've seen it. I touched it. I put it back exactly where it was. And you know what? If I'm going to impart some sort of advice onto you as explorers yourselves, it is just to leave things where they are. it's the right thing to do. That nail that I found back there was over 200 years old. Why should I feel like I'm the person to take it away from the spot that it's been sitting in for over 200 years? It's not my job, and I shouldn't be the one to do it. Be respectful. Again, right on my right, and I saw this on the map when I was looking at the map of this place yesterday. There are a few swamps here, and that is one of them. We'll go back to the seashore here. On an open area. Very, very cool. I can see through that tree line right there, that is the road that leads. There's only one road in and out here, and that is it. And that, probably right behind this tree line here, is the actual money pit. So I'm close. Well, that is it for me here in Oak Island, Nova Scotia. Yes, the infamous Oak Island. The weather could have been better. And yeah, maybe move this trip up about a month or two, and this would have been absolutely perfect. But listen, I'm not complaining. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful scenes here. Aside from also finding 2 black-legged deer ticks on my person this morning when I woke up. An absolute nightmare. I hate it. I'm running it through the tick garden here in my Explorers. I have had various kinds of ticks on me, and one lesson I learned this time is that I just assumed that ticks are not active at this time of year, too cold, but as I found out, that is simply not true. It is plus 1 degree Celsius. They start to come alive, and yeah, so listen, I'm always learning, so you're always learning. For now, it is the Obscurist Tourist saying so long. Take care of yourselves. Check yourselves for ticks, because clearly I'm not amazing at it. Stay safe and stay beautiful until our next adventure. See you later.